There comes a moment in every man's life, a moment he never sees coming, when God removes everything he once depended on, not to punish him, not to destroy him, but to rebuild him. Because when a man has no one but God, that's when he finally discovers who God really is. You don't learn faith on the mountaintop, you learn it in the dark. When the people who said they'd stay forever walk away, when the doors you trusted slam shut, when the life you built crumbles in front of you. That's the moment heaven whispers, "Now you're ready." There are seasons when God strips away every prop you leaned on. Not to be cruel, but because as long as you have backup plans, you'll never fully trust him. As long as you have people to call, you'll keep leaning on them. Sometimes God removes the noise so you can finally hear his voice. Sometimes he empties your hands so you can finally receive what he's been trying to give you. And when the money dries up, when the friends disappear, when your confidence breaks, you stand alone in the ruins of what used to be your life. But that ruin's the place you fear the most. It's where God rebuilds you the best. Everyone talks about faith when life is smooth, but your real faith is revealed when God is all you have left. And in that quiet, lonely place, something shifts. Isolation stops feeling like abandonment. It becomes a classroom, a hiding place, a training ground. It's where your prayers stop sounding pretty and start sounding real. Where your strength stops pretending and starts surrendering. Where you stop asking God for comfort and start asking him for purpose. Because God does his deepest work in the seasons you understand the least. Look at Job. In a single moment, he lost it all: his wealth, his children, his health. The people who once applauded him suddenly abandoned him. Even his wife whispered, "Give up." But Job did something heaven never forgot. Sitting in ashes, covered in pain, he lifted his voice and said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job 1:21, he had nothing left but God, and that was enough. And from those ashes, God rebuilt him stronger than before. Before David ever wore a crown, he wore fear, loneliness, uncertainty. He was hunting a palace. He was hiding in caves, running for his life. No army, no friends, no applause. Just him and God. And in those nights of trembling silence, he wrote, "Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me." Psalm 27:10, David thought he was hiding from kings, but God was preparing him to become one. Caves were not punishment. They were preparation. Moses didn't discover God's power in Egypt. He discovered it in the wilderness. No strategy, no resources, no way out, just millions of people and no food. But when Moses looked up, God sent manna from heaven, food no human could take credit for. When the people were dying of thirst, God cracked open a rock and poured water from the impossible. Heaven was teaching Moses a truth you must never forget. Provision doesn't come from ability. Provision comes from dependence. As long as you rely on yourself, you'll see what humans can do. But when you rely on God, you'll see what only God can do. Joseph learned this too. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, forgotten in a prison cell. He had no one but God. Yet in the end, he declared, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 52:20. Every prison Joseph entered was actually a hallway to the palace. God wasn't rejecting him. He was positioning him. Paul lost friends. He lost freedom. He lost comfort. He wrote letters from a dark prison cell most people never thought he'd survive. And yet, he said, "I consider everything a loss compared to the worth of knowing Christ." Philippians 3:8, he discovered a truth most people never learn. When Christ is all you have, you realize he's all you ever needed. When God takes everything away, he's not abandoning you. He's revealing you. He's tearing down what was built on fear, pride, and human strength so he can build something eternal. Something unshakable, something that storms can't touch. Because what God builds in silence, he reveals in power, There's a version of you God can only form in isolation. Not on stage, not in public, not surrounded by applause, but in quiet rooms where your tears fall like prayers and your heart says, God, I can't do this without you. Even Jesus withdrew to lonely places to pray, not because he was weak, but because intimacy requires silence. Loneliness isn't where God leaves you. It's where God meets you. When a man has no one but God, the fire that once terrified him now purifies him. Trials don't break you. They reveal you. They strengthen you. They prepare you. Because every setback becomes a setup when God is your foundation. You may have lost people. You may have lost opportunities. You may feel like everything in your life has fallen apart piece by piece. But hear this clearly. If you still have God, you still have everything. He is not your last resort. He is your first source, your strength, your portion, your anchor, your identity, your future. And when he becomes your everything, you finally become who you were always meant to be. So what happens when the noise stops? When the crowd fades? When the support disappears? When it's just you and God? Most people call that rock bottom. Heaven calls it rebirth. Because when God removes everything, he's not ending your story. He's restarting it. And the version of you that will rise from this season won't be weak, won't be broken, won't be confused. You will rise focused, refined, strengthened, and rebuilt by the hands of God himself. If you believe that God is still working, still rebuilding, still preparing you for something greater, type in the comments, God is enough. Because your story isn't falling apart. It's falling into place. And this season you feared the most may be the season God uses the most.